Good morning, good morning, good morning, Austin CSL. Let us just take in that song that Lisa just sang. Thank you so much, Lisa, for that beautiful song. The miracle of love. It's so, it's like it just reminds me of just the miracles that we are because we are love. That's how Spirit created us in this place, in this essence of love is who we are. And so when I was thinking about the talk for today, and this whole month is about love. And no, this is not February. We are in August. So, usually February is the love month. But actually, love is every day, every month, every moment that we wake up. Do we wake up in that place of absolute love? And as I was preparing this talk, what Spirit had given me was to kind of shift that title a little bit and say, I am here to serve love and I soar. We are here to serve love and we soar. And so as I was also preparing and listening this morning, and I had my talk all written out that I thought I did. And what I realized was that there was something missing in this. And the missing piece of this was to talk about self-love. Because the thing is that how can we love if we are not loving ourselves first? If we're not remembering the love of who we are? Ernest Holmes tells us that love points the way and the law makes the way possible. This is the great dance of the universe. Love is the intention, the guiding star, the impulse of spirit of law. Law is the structure, the way in which spirit manifests. And then together, they come together. Love and law ensures that the universe is not chaotic, but ordered and purposeful. To soar in love is to recognize that this love is not personal. It's not a personal sentiment alone. It is the very fabric of the cosmos, of all of that's out there, all that God has created is love. It is the heartbeat of every living being. It's the flow of the rivers, the rising of the sun, the hidden quantum fields connecting everything. Everything that we see. When we look outside, we see the trees. That's love. How many times have you known people to just go and say, I want to go and hug a tree? It's like they want to feel the love of that tree because there's an energy that's in there. When we practice self-love, because sometimes we forget to love ourselves first. So without the self-love, it's like we're outsourcing our worth. Ernest Holmes reminds us that we must love ourselves if we expect to love others. Self-love is the recognition of, I am the beloved of God, clothed in divine perfection, even when I forget it. How many times have we gotten into disagreements with other people, or we're driving along the road and somebody cuts us off, or, we get out of that element and it's like we want to make them wrong. And then we come back and it's like, oh, wait a minute. They're doing their thing. I'm okay. I'm not harmed in any way. So we come back to that place of self-love. Loving ourselves is so important because if we're not able to love ourselves, then how can we love others? When we say that, I see the God in you and you see the God in me, you see the love in me and I see the love in you. And so even if we look into the mirror and we say to ourselves, I see the love in you. You see the love of who you are. From that little small child that may have been ignored or maybe seeing, thinking that their needs are not being met. Thinking that little child that's within us that activates so many different actions within our lives. How many times have we gone back to that little child and said, I love you, I see you, and I'm here to keep you safe? Because so many times the actions that are happening in our world when we're coming from this place of anger or resistance or not enoughness, if we think back, when did we experience this as a child? And so I keep thinking, it's like, this little young person of me years ago had an incident that happened. And in that incident, there was this pain or this hurt that happened. And I created this experience in my world that I was not loved. And so in that holding, I realized that me not feeling loved during that time, I carried that into my adult life and resisted relationships sometimes. And I had to come back and check myself and check that little girl that was there and give her the love that I felt that I didn't have at that time. So when that shift happened, I realized how it opened up so much room within me to receive that love. And if we think back, how many experiences have you all experienced not feeling loved or not feeling enough or whatever the it is? And if you think about how do you go back to that where that may have started? Somebody may have said something wrong to you, and that created you to go down a different path. Always come back to this path of love, because in this place of love, we realize that we can get through anything and we can move through anything. Ernest Holmes also tells us the only life you can have is the life that you affirm. So when these conflicts arises, when harsh words are spoken or when criticism is felt, how do we serve love? We affirm it, not with platitudes, not with avoidance, but with courage. We step into that place of love. Serving love means choosing presence instead of retreat, compassion instead of defensiveness. It means that even in hard conversations, ask ourselves, what does love require me to do right now? What is love asking me to do right now? Think about a situation that may have happened in your life that doesn't feel really good. Something that you've been pondering, you've been beating yourself up over, whatever it may be. Think about that. Or anything that is taking you out of love. And bring yourself back to that space and ask, what does love require of me right now? Even when I'm thinking about in these current times of what we're living in, where we're living in a world where fear shouts loudly, division runs rampant, and technology often magnifies our differences. When we look at Facebook or TikTok or these things that are happening, and even the news, that it magnifies our differences. But I'm here to remind you that love is not afraid of the headlines. Love is not afraid of policies or politics. Love is greater than anything that we can ever imagine. Any algorithms, any notifications that we may get is stronger than social media divides. We see so many times if you're on Facebook and you're reading through certain things and people have this division about what this person should be doing or what that person should be doing, and people are in a tizzy about it. Bring in love. It's like if love were on Facebook, it wouldn't argue in the comments. It would just keep sending out heart emojis until the thread is transformed. Try that sometimes. Just putting in heart emojis and see what happens. Sometimes when I think about in this place of allowing me to soar higher, When I'm in difficult conversations, I have to remind myself to just speak love. And it may not be out loud. This is that opportune time to speak love, to even say, I love you, I love you. And that allows the conversation to shift. It also allows us to soar higher in love, not to remain in this low level of, as my beloved says, guilt, blame, shame. But it's this place of how do we step into this place of love and remember the love of who we are. When we love, oh my gosh, when we're standing in this place of absolute love, it can take us to so many different levels that we may not even be aware of it at the time. But when we allow ourselves to first love ourselves, and as we love ourselves, we love others. It's just like when we do a prayer. When we're speaking a prayer, we're speaking a prayer, and that's going out into the world. Because when they say it's like there's only one of us here, there's only one of us here. Although there are different, we see different people around us, but there's only one of us here. And that's God within each one of us. And in that knowingness, even when things fall apart or seem to fall apart, there's a time that things come back together again. Pema Chodron, when she writes, only to the extent that we expose ourselves over and over to annihilation can that which is indestructible be found in us. But then she also talks about things fall apart and then come together again. And they fall apart once more and come together again. And it's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, room for relief, for misery, for joy. We soar not by denying the falling apart, but by opening to it, by trusting that spirit is always present, always unfolding, always offering resurrection on the other side of every ending. Ram Dass reminds us to be here now, be here in this present moment now, not in some imagined future, not trapped in the regrets of the past, but fully alive, fully awake, fully surrendered to the love that is present in this moment. There's love all around us. If we pay attention, if we listen, listen with the ears of love, not with the ears of judgment. Listen with our hearts. And soaring in love today means practicing self-love as the grounding tool. Because without tending the temple of our own being, we cannot show up for others. Self-love is not selfish. It is the soil out of which compassion grows. Ask yourself, where am I being asked to soar higher in love? When we wake up in the morning, and a lot of times it's like I wake up and it's like, and I'm in this place of gratitude, just grateful for this day. But as I was preparing for this talk, I have to remind myself, or I'm asking the question, where am I in my life being asked to soar higher in love? When I go to work sometimes, things don't always feel copacetic with my coworkers for me. And rather than going into a place of disagreement or they're not doing this or they're not doing that right, I have to remind myself, where am I being asked to soar higher in love? And that's the hard part sometimes, because sometimes, to be honest, it's like we may not want to feel like going into that place of love. We want to be in the muckiness, the muck and the mire of, let me just stay here for a moment. Let me just be mad for a moment. And it's okay if we want to be mad, but not to stay in that place. It's okay to be angry, but not to live in that. Where can we soar higher in love? And then how can we practice self-love? So there are many things. Think about, where can I show up as love in my life, in the world right now? I always think about with Reverend Michael Beckwith, when he talks about, when you watch the news, say a prayer. Even in those moments, ask, how can I show up in love? And in your prayer, allow that love to come through. There is this time that when we to ourselves, speak to ourselves gently. Because sometimes, how many times have we said, it's like, oh man, that was stupid. That was stupid to do that. That's not speaking love. That's not speaking gently to yourselves. You know what? Honor. You made a mistake. I made a mistake. And you know what? I can go back and correct this if I can. And it's like, oop, this is a learning lesson. But it's not to beat ourselves up. Love is not this thing that we get to beat ourselves up with, in this way of regret. But it's, how do I show up in this place of absolute love? This spiritual practice to remember, when you love yourself, you create a space for spirit to move freely through you. And self-love is not about making yourself the center. It's about removing the obstacles that prevent the infinite love within you from flowing outward. Love is the self-givingness of spirit through the desire of love to express itself in terms of creation. To soar in love is to be the expression of spirit's deepest desire, to live fully, give freely, forgive deeply, and rise higher. Our theme for this month, the global theme, is rising higher, growing deeper. That's what love is about. That's what this opportunity to soar in love, starting with self-love, is about. Ram Dass, Pema Chodron, and Ernest Holmes, they all point us into the same truth. Love is here now, always. Love is the beginning, the journey, and the destination. So as we go forth, not to merely inspire others, but to transform our own lives, transform the world. How do we do that? Starting with ourselves. We are the living testaments of divine love. We can soar above fear. We can soar above anything that comes our way in this place of absolute love. When we embody the love that this world so deeply and desperately needs, imagine how that feels. Imagine it's like you put your hand on your heart and you're sending out love out into the world. Just telling the world and all those that you see, I love you. I love you. And you don't have to say it out loud. But being in that space, it does make a difference. These are my life lessons right now that I'm learning. And so I'm passing them on to you. How do you show up in love? So as we move to this place of just closing, we just go into prayer and just in this right now moment, we give thanks for this time that we have come here together, recognizing that God is, I am, and all truly is well. God is the love that I am. God is the love that you are. God is, and all is well. Knowing that in this right now moment, that anything that may have come up, that may have tested our patience, anything that may have come up, that may have taken us out of that place of love, that we come back to that place of love right here, right now. Remembering the love that we are. And as we remember this love that we are, we send it out into the world. Love heals. Love is the divine within us. Love is our steps that we take every day, the opening of the doors for other people and saying and seeing and greeting people in this place of love. I see you. I see the love within you. I know who you are. I know God resides in you, so I know love resides in you because it resides in me. In this moment, surrender into love, knowing that love carries us through so many different things in life and how good it feels to be able to move in love. When we move in love, doors open, hearts open. We become more and more aware of who we are and whose we are and how good that feels in this right now moment. I am so grateful for this time, for this life, for this love that I am and that I see within each and every one of you right here, right now. How good it is to know. Love surrounds us. Love goes before us. Love is behind us. Love holds us up, lifts us up, and it is above us and below us. Imagine yourselves being in this circle of love, feeling this love each and every moment. How good it is to know this love is here always present. I just give thanks for this time that we have been here together, giving thanks for this prayer, knowing that as I've spoken this prayer, that it's already gone out into the universe and is already coming back, knowing that my words cannot return to me void, knowing that I love you, you love me. We are here for each other. We rest in that love with each other, right here, right now. We soar in love, knowing that as we love, we soar higher and higher beyond anything that we could ever imagine. God lifts us up. God holds us in love, knowing right here, right now, everything is working out for our perfect and divine life, love, joy, whatever it is we want to call it. Love is who I am. Love is who you are. Love is this world right here, right now. And I just give thanks and I release this to the law, knowing that it is already done. This prayer was already answered before I even spoke it out. And I hold each one of you in love, knowing all is well. And I just anchor this prayer with, and so it is. Amen. Aho. Blessed be.